And awesome. Welcome everyone. We're super glad you're joining today. And yeah, really thrilled for our students who have been able to engage with our STEP program over the summer. We have some awesome campus partners who will be presenting today. But as always, I'll do a little overview of the STEP program. And so to kick things off, if you have not already, RSVP to the STEP program. It's super helpful. That will allow us to send you up-to-date notifications and can also give you the opportunity to sign up for our in-person STEP session happening on August 20th. So that will be a fun opportunity to check out campus, meet with other transfers in person. So definitely check that out. You can RSVP by scanning the QR code or visiting our step.ucsd.edu website. So definitely register, gives us a good sense of who's interested and what information is best to send to our incoming transfers. So that is important. But yeah, so as you're all here for our transfer talks, these happen every Wednesday at 3 p.m. These occur virtually all throughout the summer, so we still have a ton of great sessions coming up throughout the next month. And so definitely check out the rest of those. These are also recorded and posted on our step recap page if you miss or need to head out early. So that is very convenient. We also have our Transfer Connect sessions. So these are opportunities to connect with fellow transfers in kind of a more less webinar-based setting. So we have some Zoom Connects where you can kind of hang out with a smaller room of transfers and they're kind of based around different topics. And so that's really cool. Our upcoming event on August 20th, that is a Transfer Connect session. That one will be in person and we'll provide food. So really cool ways to get involved, get to know your peers prior to kicking things off in the fall. Looking ahead, we have some awesome upcoming transfer talks. And so these are, so on July 31st, we have a transfer talk all about research opportunities at UCSD. Can't highlight that enough. We know that a lot of you are really interested in getting involved in research opportunities, so definitely don't want to miss that session. On August 5th, we'll actually be having a transfer time drop-in. And so in our um, in our step notification emails that you get, we'll be sending out a questionnaire form that allows you to ask questions that have been on top of mind. And so if during any of the other sessions or you have questions that haven't been answered, definitely look through that email for that question form and submit any questions you have because we'll be answering them live during that drop-in session. And then also on August 12th, we have a session with undocumented and mixed status student services. And so we'll be partnering with them and they'll be sharing a lot of their amazing resources and the ways they provide support for undocumented and mixed status students. So that will be a really awesome session as well. More on STEP. So we have the research and involvement series, which is kicking off, I believe, this Thursday. This is led by our research and involvement coordinator, Elizabeth, and super excited that this is a resource for you all to check out during the summer prior to officially starting in fall. It'll be all about how to get involved in research, connect with faculty, learn about on-campus jobs, and a lot of really great ways to get involved. So this is a series you don't want to miss, and it will happen every Thursday. So check that out for sure. And last but not least, we have our transfer peer coaches. These are our current students or recently graduated transfer students who are super excited and willing to meet with you. We have peer coaches from a variety of different majors, but they're really excited to share resources, clarify things about UCSD, and you can meet with any of them. Just scan that QR code or go to our peer coach page on our website, and you can book an appointment, and they're available as soon as like today or tomorrow. So definitely use them as a resource. They have a lot of incredible knowledge and are very much experts in terms of the UCSD transfer student experience. So we love our peer coaches. And today we are joined by Student Financial Solutions, and we're super excited to kind of clarify and go over how to pay your bills at UC San Diego and go over a lot of that really important information. So without further ado, I will pass off to our awesome partner, Veronica, to share their presentation.
Thanks, Sally. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I know it's probably hot wherever you're at. Maybe not. I don't know. But thank you for joining us. We're going to go over some, um, slides regarding finances and things of that nature. And not might be a little bit boring, but it is important, and you will in your career visit our office at least one time. If not for anything else, it would just be your campus card. But without further ado, let me go through the presentations. Sorry about that. All right, so we'll be going over billing payments, refunds, and more. Again, welcome to UCSD. Congratulations on um, joining us here at UCSD. It's a beautiful campus. If you guys haven't been there yet, you guys will definitely enjoy it. Again, my name is Veronica Olvera Salce. I've been with UCSD for almost 27 years, so I've been around for a long time. So again, welcome. So during our presentation, we're going to be discussing, like I said, a lot of different topics. And hopefully by the end of the presentation, you'll have either less questions or more questions, depends. So we'll be going over what our office is. We'll go over student billing, how payments work, the role of financial aid, student overpayments and refunds, best practices for students, and then our closing, and then resources. So who is Student Financial Solutions? Our office is divided into 4 units, one of which is Student Account Services. That department provides client support and account inquiries, which means we are on I don't want to say ticket system, but I guess that's what it is. So when you email sfs.ucsd.edu, you'll create a case, and that case will be followed through until it's answered. So it's the front part of our office, or the front end, will be answering all of the cases and phone calls. The other office that we have is Student Billing Services, who oversees student billing and third-party billing and refunds. We also have our Loan Administration Office, which provides support for all campus-based loans, which would be university loans. And again, campus cards. So they're responsible for issuing your campus card to students, faculty, staff, and affiliates. So what's new? Coming fall 2026, we are introducing TSS, which stands for Triton Student System. It is one of the largest projects that we have um, under undertaken in a long time. Again, I've been here 27 years, and this is the first time we have introduced a new system. So we've been doing a lot of back end testing and what have you to get, everybody prepared for this new system. Along with those changes comes, a lot of issues that might come up. So we do ask that you be patient and understanding, parents and students, and reach out to us if there's any questions. We have student billing. So when are students billed? So for tuition and registration fees, students are billed at the beginning of each session. We are in a quarter system. So for fall, for example, you'll be billed in September. For winter, you'll be billed in December, and then spring will be in March. And you'll see there on your right-hand screen there, you'll see the fall session due dates. So for incoming fall students, your due date will be on 9/30, so that's September 30th, 2026. And auxiliary due date is 9/15. Now, auxiliary fees include housing, dining, parking, course material fees, health services, any library charges, any bookstore charges. Those are what we consider auxiliary fees. Those will be due on the 15th. So um, so basically the way it works is tuition and fees are billed at the beginning of the month for each quarter or each session. Those will be due, and then after that, so because we bill on a quarterly system, and you accrue charges during the month, you will be billed for those on a monthly basis. So you can be billed at any time during the quarter for any charges billed after the tuition and fees. So each session has its own tuition due date, and then the due date for auxiliary fees will always be the 15th of every month. So you'll have your quarterly billing, and then you'll have your monthly billing after that, if there's any. So what are students billed for? Each session a student is enrolled and they're billed for tuition and fees. Um, any program of study. So aside from tuition and fees, there could be, some kind of a fee based on what you're studying. And your residential status could change from, if you're non-resident tuition, they'll add on more fees on top of the regular tuition and fees that UCSD charges. You are billed full-time or part-time fees. As a transfer student, more than likely you have full-time fees. And then during your career, if there's any time that you maybe are almost done and only have to take one class, you have to petition to become part-time. That you'll petition with your college. They'll go over all of the information with you. And if they are approved for part-time, you'll get that credit back later on. So you'll be charged full-time fees. The petition goes through, part-time fees will then kick in and you'll get your money back, whether it's financial aid refund or whether it's out-of-pocket money that will be refunded back to you and go back into your account via direct deposit, or a check can be mailed to you. So during the academic year, so that's fall to spring, tuition is charged at a flat rate, and it's not prorated based on the number of units the student is taking. So again, it's either part-time or full-time or part-time fees. We do not charge per unit. The only time that happens is in the summer. So in the summertime, we do charge per unit. Any student that lives on campus will be billed for their housing and dining fees based on your housing contract. So unfortunately, Student Financial Services will not be able to provide you information from your housing contract. But you can definitely call the housing department to give you information. So if you have any questions regarding your housing contract, you want to contact housing. And then for any other auxiliary fees, that you're subject to, like parking, course material fees, student health, bookstore, all of those fees, those will be charged on a monthly basis. So you'll see there on your left-hand side, we have an example of the billing statement, what it looks like when you log on to, sorry about that. When you log on to Triton, Pay, you'll be able to see all of that information. So your billing statement, you can always print those out whenever you want. So again, just to go over, the billing statements are released on the second business day of every month. And I kind of want to explain what it means by static document. So basically, when we run the billing statement, it's kind of a snapshot of your account at the time that we run the billing statement. So it could change in Triton Pay the next day based on other fees that may be charged to your student account. So it might not be on the billing statement because it happened right after we ran it. So you'll see those under account details on Triton Pay. It might be different. Again, it's just kind of a snapshot of your account on what it looks like the day that we run the billing statement. I'm so sorry about all that. So basically what we're saying is on your billing statement, refer to account or activity details for any fees that you don't see on your billing statement. So where can students view their bills? Students will receive a bill via Triton Pay. And the universe, it's basically our portal. Triton Pay is where students can see their current, past due, and total account balance. And all of your current account activities, you'll be able to see there as well. So I would say review that periodically during the quarter, monthly if I'm not seeing a bill. If you don't see the bill, right, we probably would want you to call our office. But I would say, go every, month, every quarter, just to review your bill to see if there's any new charges that maybe you missed. Parents can gain access to their student account by the student has to authorize them as a payer. Again, this can be done through Triton Pay. And the students would send you a payer invite, an invitation to gain access to their account. So it would just be their billing statement, nothing else like grades or nothing else is on there except just their billing statement. Um, and let's see. So another big thing that's coming with TSS from today until the 6th of August will basically be shutting down Triton Pay, meaning that you won't be able to make any payments um, to the account during this transition. So we will be back up on August 6th with transition into the new system. So just be patient with us. Again, we will be there to help guide you. If there's any information you need or have any questions, just give our office a call. So here is an overview of what you would be looking at when you do go into Triton Pay. You'll be able to see my account. This is where you're going to create or send an invitation to parents. They will, once we get their email, an email will be sent to the parents. They will go on there and create their own username and password so that they don't have to ask the students for the information. Again, it's really important that this happens. I know you guys are transfer students, so might be a little bit older, but nonetheless, they're still parents that want that information, or because they're paying the bill, we have grandparents calling. If we don't have that information on file, we will not be able to talk to them. And I know that's frustrating because I am a parent of a college student, and I know it's frustrating, but it really is for the protection of the student. And as long as we have access to that and we can see your name, then we'd be more than happy to talk to you. Again, you'll be able to see more information other than what's on the billing statement under activity details. Um, and again, there's just a lot of information on there. Once you're in there, you'll be able to see, get a feel of what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward and very user-friendly. So how do payments work? What payment options are there? So we have online payment options through Triton Pay, e-check, credit card, debit card. We have Apple Pay and Google Pay. We have, if any of you are familiar with the 529 plan, this is a plan that parents have put money into for college, and they can withdraw that once once the student enrolls in college. So that's a good plan to have. We do have a drop-down menu of many 529 plans. If your 529 plan is not on there, then we could go ahead and they could go ahead and see if we could put them on there. So it's just a matter of contacting us to see where we can put them or add them. Um, we have Flywire for international payments, Covera, and TransferMate. Those again are all our international options. Again, we have in person at the Triton Pay office, and they can also be mailed. So personal checks, cashier's checks, traveler's checks, money orders are all accepted there at the Triton Pay office. So just like I said, is my 529 plan agency accepted? So for select agencies, you can make payments with your 529 plan online via Triton Pay. And this just a kind of a list of the people or the companies that we have currently on there. Oh, what happened here? Well, not sure what happened. Um, so this is an example of how you would make a payment. Again, I'm just going to go refer back to the 529 plan. If your 529 plan is not on there, we could see if we could add them to our list later on down the road, or at the time that you're making your payment. So how to make a payment. It's very simple. Like I said, it's very hands-on, very user-friendly, straightforward. You click on the making a payment, and it's going to ask you the method you can save it for later on down the road, making your payments through our payment portal. How long are typical payments processing time? So online, typically same day. Again, the only exception would be international payments, which could stay in pending for 5 to 7 business days for verification. Payments made before 3 p.m. are processed same day by the Triton Pay cashiering team. Otherwise, they'll be processed the next day. So we do have a drop box. If they're there before 3 o'clock, they will be processed that same day. And payments that are mailed take 1 to 2 weeks to be received and processed. Where do I send my payments? So again, Triton Pay office. If you want to write down this information, it's there. If not, you can log on to sfs.ucsd.edu, and the information is also on there. So, and to ensure that payments include or the payments are put into the student's account, make sure that you have your student's full name and their TSN number. So the TSN number is it stands for Triton Student Number, and they are all going to be transitioned when we move over to TSS. Right now, we work with the student ID number, which is you probably won't even know what that is because you guys are transfer students and you. So anyways, your TSN number is your Triton student number. That's what you want to memorize and keep with you because we will be asking for that information when you do contact our office. Do payment options include a service fee? E-check, yes, it's a 50-cent flat fee. Debit cards and credit cards are treated the same, and they are charged a 2.85% service fee. So if you use even your debit card, which I know, it's EFT versus credit, it's still considered a credit card payment and it will be tacked with the 2.85%. Domestic cards is 3.25%. And your 529 plan electronic payment, it's a $10 flat fee. International payments vary by vendor. Our available online payment options for service fees, it's have a service fee set by the payment processor. It's not by UCSD. So in the case that you needed let's say a credit card refund, more than likely the service fee will not be refunded to you because it is from the processor and could be subject to change. Are there any consequences for late payments? If a payment is received after the billing due date, the student will receive a hold only. We do not charge late fees, and we no longer charge late fees. And the other consequence to that, well, one is the hold, the other one, drop from your courses for non-payment. So we do have strict deadlines for non-payment. And students, it's a little frustrating for students because they could be waiting for, money to come in, for financial aid to come in. It really comes down to a matter of communicating with both offices, either financial aid or our office, to see what we can do to help the student before the drop date. It breaks our heart, to be honest with you, to get a call from a student the day that they've been dropped, because they are no longer in that class and they will have to be added to the wait list if there is, more than or too many students in a class. So I think, like I said, communication with both offices, if there's an issue the prior to the drop date. Again, financial hold, basically what ends up happening is if it goes on, if the past due balance kind of carries over, eventually the student will not be able to enroll for future sessions. So we want to make sure that we don't have any holds on our accounts before the next quarter, or you will not be able to enroll. Again, class cancel or course cancellation, it happens once per session, and that would be after the fee due date. So we want to make sure that you have all your registration fees. If you can't pay all your registration fees due to financial aid coming in late, you can always apply for a payment plan. So just be aware of that. Like I said, communication is best practice. Communicating with both offices will save you a lot of heartache. So again, talking about payment plans, what payment plans do we have? So we currently have it's called TRIP. So TRIP stands for Triton Registration Installment Plan. It's a $40 early enrollment fee. What we mean by early enrollment is anywhere from August 26th through September 30th. That's our window. Um, after um, after that, it would be $65. So you want to make sure that if you know for sure you're going to apply for the payment plan, what it does is it divides your tuition and fees only, not housing, tuition and fees into three payments. One payment, a third of it would be due September, the second in October, and then the third in November. So you want to make sure that you keep that on your radar. If you know that you're going to be applying for the Triton registration installment plan, that you enroll early to have the $40 fee assessed to your account. Otherwise, it's going to be $65. We also have a monthly installment plan for housing and dining fees. Um, so that, again, that is applied, that is done through the housing office. So it's separate um, from our office trip plan. Okay, so if you want, you know for sure that you want to enroll in TRIP, which is the monthly installment plan for tuition and fees. And then you know that you're going to do monthly housing, the housing plan, that you want to make sure that you contact housing for that, so that it's correct on your bill. So what is the role of financial aid? Who manages my financial aid? So once a student has completed their FAFSA, which I'm sure if you are going to be accepting or you did accept financial aid, you have already filled out your FAFSA, and that will determine your aid eligibility. So financial aid will do the following. They'll put together your student award package. Um, they'll disperse the funds to your student Triton Pay account and then make any future adjustments as necessary. So financial aid can make adjustments throughout the year. That's based on, if you something happens, financially, or any kind of, they'll be checking your financial aid all the time, the units, all of that stuff. So make sure that you don't fall below halftime, because that will affect your financial aid. How is financial aid received? So the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office is responsible, obviously, for managing the award of your package. And then their office disperses once per session. For fall, they'll disperse sometime in September. And then for fall, for fall, for winter, it'll be the aid is dispersed in sometime in December, and then again in spring would be in March. So once the financial aid has received the financial aid offer, or once you have received the financial aid offer, you basically are going to accept or decline any of the awards that they're offering you. After you accept, and if there's any required tasks that you have to do, you need to do them before the aid is dispersed. So if there's any kind of loan counseling you need to do, any kind of paperwork that they need, that needs to be done before the financial aid can be dispersed. If it's delayed, you'd want to contact them to see what needs to be done. And they will give you the information. You just do it, and then your financial aid can be dispersed. So for fall 2026, financial aid disbursement date is scheduled for September 22nd. So what is financial aid, financial solutions, student financial solutions role in financial aid? So our office basically supports student billing payments and refunds. We do work closely with financial aid. In the case that we know that the money's coming, they might request our office to remove your hold, so that the money can pay out, and then you won't be dropped from classes. So we work hand in hand very well with financial aid, understanding how financial aid is applied to the student balance, any kind of refund that's left over. We also process outside agency scholarships. So if you did receive any kind of outside scholarships, you do want to mail them to our office, not to the financial aid office. We do process scholarships. We send them over to financial aid for processing, but we do receive them. We are the front end of receiving the scholarships. And of course, we can help students and authorized payer to basically understand billing aid application and refunds. And then if you have any specific, questions for financial aid, like where is my financial aid, or I need to, send this info to them, you'd have to contact directly, to contact Financial Aid and Scholarships Office directly. So here again, where to send any kind of scholarships. When you receive a scholarship, it's normally the check and a letter that comes with it. We want you to send everything um, to our office. And there's our address. So you want to send them to the Triton Pay office. Again, attention scholarships, Student Service Center, Suite 170, 9500 Gilman Drive, La Jolla, California, 92093-0009. That mail code is really important to send when you're sending the scholarships or even a check. Our whole university is based on mail codes. They come to a central place and then they're dispersed according to mail code. So it's really important to send that information. Or if you're sending anything to an office on campus, you make sure that you want to note their mail code. And then again, your full name, if it's not on the paperwork, and your TSN, your Triton student number. Student overpayments and refunds. So what is a credit balance? When a payment is made to your account, and it's larger, greater than what the account balance is, we consider that an overpayment. So we get, if, for example, a scholarship comes in after your financial aid has paid out, that scholarship will now be considered an overpayment, basically a credit balance on your student account, and it'll appear as a negative balance on your student account. So if you ever see a negative balance on your student account, whether it's a check overpayment, a scholarship overpayment, financial aid overpayment, it will always be a negative credit balance. So financial aid, if there's an overage, right? That's the refund that you'll be receiving on the 26th or before school starts in September. So that's a refund that you use for housing, living expenses, what have you. So that's considered a credit balance. Again, for any financial aid overpayments, those are automatically processed by our office. No need to call, no need to create a case. Those are all done automatically. Anything that comes in after that will also go automatically within a week or so after receiving the funds in excess. So if you see that an overpayment has not been refunded within a week or 2 weeks, definitely call our office and we can investigate to see where the money's at. How refunds are received. When a student, again, has a credit balance on their account, you could request a refund from our office. And we would just go ahead and process that for the next day. Otherwise, it kind of just happens automatically. There's two ways of receiving it. You can sign up for direct deposit through our website again, which is probably the number one issue that we have with students not signing up, or if they don't sign up for direct deposit, checks do take a while to get to your current mailing address. Current mailing address on file for the school year would be your campus mailbox, or if you're living in an apartment here in San Diego, that's where it's going to go. Anything after that, like summertime, will be going to your permanent mailing address. So you want to make sure that you do sign up for direct deposit just so that it's a smooth sailing, the money comes in. If you have a credit balance, the money's just sent to your direct deposit account. Again, if you don't have an account or you don't wish to have direct deposit, your current mailing address would be your student or your school address or around here. Again, recommended refund method is direct deposit. It is the fastest and most secure. Students can log into TSS and use My Bank app for signing up for direct deposit. So direct deposit, again, our number one that we request for students to have. So direct enroll, I guess, enroll early, so that the funds can be sent securely and quick to your US bank checking or savings account. Again, never share passwords or university login credentials. You see San Diego, we've received a lot of fraud within the last couple of years, more than we've seen before. A lot of scams, people giving their information to third party where they said they're going to be able to give them a discount to pay their fees through this company. UCSD does not offer any kind of discounts for school, for tuition and fees. Really only, your tuition would be paid for by financial aid. Again, you don't want to give your information, your credentials to any other person. You want to keep that secure. Be cautious of urgent messages about refunds or account problems or payment issues that ask students to click on a link or verify information. So again, you don't want to click on anything if you receive a message. Don't click on anything. We normally don't send information from our office to tell you we'll give you a discount if you pay this way. Don't trust third-party offers, again, claiming that they can help with tuition or send you a refund faster, things of that nature. Yeah, again, we've received more fraud than we have in the past couple years than we've received ever. So please report any suspicious emails immediately to IT services, security at abuse.ucsd.edu. So how long does a refund take to be received? So if a student is enrolled in direct deposit at the time of their refund, they can expect to receive that in 3 to 4 business days. So it's pretty fast. You'll get an email to your UCSD email once the refund has been issued. And if a student is not enrolled in direct deposit, the student should receive the check by mail in 2 to 3 business weeks from the date that it was issued. So as a reminder, students should be completing, I'm sorry, students should complete the following when a credit balance is available. Submit a refund request to Student Financial Solutions. You would wait for an approval form to be approved. And then monitor your email for updates from our office. Again, this is a case that's created when you submit the form, and that's followed through all the way till you receive the approval that the refund will be sent to you. So best practices for students. Here's your fall checklist. So complete the required financial aid tasks, enroll in direct deposit, waive USHIP if applicable. And that is if you do have insurance with parents or on your own outside of UCSD, you could apply for a waiver that will waive your health insurance fee at UCSD, and then you'll be able to use your insurance. So that's important to do as well. And then the last one is authorize your parents as a payer. We went over that. It's just so if a student does not authorize the parent and they call our office, we won't be able to talk to them about your account. And again, just to reiterate, incoming students won't be able to access Triton Pay until August 6th due to transition to TSS. So in closing, we have, just want to iterate. I know that this is a lot of information. We are available during the summer. We do not close. So you can either visit our office or you can call our office at any time especially during the TSS crossover, our new student system. We will be available, although our system might not be available, but we can definitely answer any questions that you might have. So here's just for reference, if you want to take a screenshot, our website is sfs.ucsd.edu. We have a lot of knowledge-based articles via UCSD student portal. And then our Instagram is at ucsd.sfs. I'm sorry, UCSD-SFS. Financial Aid and Scholarships Office, there's their website, fas.ucsd.edu. And then our Housing, Dining, and Hospitality, HGS, their website is hgs.ucsd.edu. If you do have any questions later on after the presentation, which you might, and you need to contact our office, parents can also use the following. Um, again, via our UCSD portal. You can send us an email at sfs.ucsd, which will also create a case. You'll be assigned a case number, and that case number, if you do call, if you have submitted a case, it's important to just kind of keep that around so that we can refer back to it. You can call us during normal business hours, 858-946-4160, or visit us during business hours at Triton Pay Office, which is located on the first floor of Student Services, Suite 170. Okay, we can open it up to questions if we still have time.
Awesome. Thank you for that fantastic presentation. We still do have some time, so if anyone has additional questions, please feel free to use the Q&A function and we can answer some questions live as well. But if all the questions are asked, then we might conclude a little early, but yeah, feel free to type out those questions and put them in the Q&A chat. General question, where is the link to view these videos? Great question. I will put that in the chat for everyone to see. We have our steps recap page, and so we typically try to kind of update this page, get the right link, try to update this page within 24 hours after our sessions. So, share that. So there's our step recap page. So I see a question in the chat. Will loan information be available on the Triton Pay as well?
Ellie, I can go ahead and take that one. So when you log into Triton Pay, you are going to be able to see any current charges. You're also going to be able to see any financial aid disbursement information. So, like if you were dispersed a grant or loan, etc. But if you're asking specific, oh, sorry, can't talk. If you're asking specifically about like more information about a particular loan, then you would need to get in touch with financial aid. We also noticed that there's quite a few questions related to the August 6th date and what you're able to do now versus what you're able to do on August 6th. So at this point in time, you have access to TSS and are able to log in by going to it's sis.ucsd.edu. When you log in there, you're able to see your information like your addresses. So you can make sure that that's correct on there. The other thing that you can do right now is you can sign up for direct deposit. So that's what you can do right now. On August 6th, you're going to get access to Triton Pay, which is a separate system. That's where you're going to be able to see all of your billing and your charges, as well as your financial aid disbursement. That's the portal where you are going to be able to authorize a parent, or a payer family member, so that they can also get access to your bill and get a copy of your bill if needed. So that's the piece that's going to happen on August 6th. But right now you can access the regular student system and sign up for direct deposit.
See, both questions coming about financial aid. We had another step recap with financial aid specifically. I'm going to go ahead and share that link just because they kind of overview some really helpful resources. So for any questions related to financial aid, if you didn't join that session, I'm putting that in the general chat for everyone as well. That is a really helpful resource. They kind of overview the process and some things to expect. So definitely check that out.
Okay, so there is a question related to the August 6th date again, and whether or not financial aid information is going to be available at that point. So on Triton Pay, you can see if like any aid has been dispersed to you. But if you're talking about your financial aid specifically, like what you've been awarded and accepting those amounts or accepting your loans, etc., that's not done through the Triton Pay portal. And so I would recommend, like Ali said, checking out that link to the financial aid session so that you can find out more about how you can accept your awards and make sure you've done everything you need to do so that your awards can disperse on time.
Good question, Makina. Is there a deadline to sign up for direct deposit to receive financial aid refund?
ASAP.
ASAP.
So ASAP, your fall financial aid is going to be dispersed in September. And what we would recommend is try to do it as soon as possible. You have access to it now, so just get it done so you don't have to worry about it. As we get closer to fall quarter, there's going to be so many things that you're going to be worried about. So since this piece is available right now, we recommend doing it ASAP. Our office is going to be sending a reminder, and then you're also going to be getting reminders from financial aid as well. But just like Veronica said in the presentation, if since you have access now, take care of it so you don't have to worry about it. And there is a question about if you can pay your housing or pay registration and fees along with housing. It's all one bill. So your all of your charges are going to post to the same bill. Yes, you can make a payment for your entire balance due with just one payment if you would like to.
So, all right, well, I think we worked through the majority of questions. Thank you all so much for your time. I know it's a busy time of year for this office, but a great resource for students. And we highly encourage you all to continue reaching out, both to Student Financial Solutions and us for questions you have. But yeah, this recording will live on our STEP recap page, and we're happy to help and support and make sure that you get the info you need. So thank you all so much for joining, and I think with that, we will wrap up. And yeah, thanks for being here, everyone.
Thank
I'll see you at the
you.
next one.